about yourself.
Well, I am Melvin Hanson. I am an old guy, I guess. I retired. I've lived 94 years. I born and raised on a farm northwest of Wakefield. I was born there on a cold, stormy night. It was a snowstorm. I remember it cried like a baby. I born to, my father was a Swedish immigrant. He came from Sweden. And met my mother, who was also born in this country, although her folks were both born in Sweden. So I am a Swedish person, and have lived on farms all my life. Farmed until I was 72 years old. And oh boy, where should I go from here? I don't know. But anyway.
So tell us about the horses.
I started working in the field when I was about 10 years old. I was driving horses. Today's culture, why that would be almost a sin for parents to put their child to work at an early age like that, but in those days, back in 1930, in the hard times, we all had to pitch in and do our share, take care of livestock and so forth, and work in the field. I was just a little guy at that time. I couldn't even harness my own horses. But it wasn't too long, and I decided, well, I'm going to try it. And I remember the first time I harnessed a horse. I got it done. And from that time on, I had to do my own harnessing. But we'd work in the field, and I've done any kind of work that we did. I've plowed with a gang plow with 6 head of horses. I've cut grain with horses, mowed hay, picked corn by hand. Did everything the hard way. So I've seen a lot of changes in my life. But all through the very beginning of my life, since I can remember, I have been taken to church. Now, I shouldn't say taken and dropped off or anything. My folks went to church too. Started me out in Sunday school when I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and they went to the adult class. If the weather was permissible, why, we were there. We didn't have any gravel roads at that time. Had a Model T Ford for a car, and in the wintertime it'd get cold. They sometimes didn't start. They were noted for that. But if we could get going, why, we'd go to church. And once in a while in the wintertime, I remember there was one winter especially, it was in the early 30s, 1930s. We had quite a bit of snow, and I remember 2 or 3 different times when Dad would hook the team of horses up Sunday morning to the bobsled, and we'd take that to church. We had about 2.5 miles to church. Even went to the Christmas program on Christmas night. It was in the evening. We drove the bobsled.
Huh. Nice.
And there at the church at Concord, Nebraska, they had a shed from the early days where people could drive a team of horses in it and tie their horses up for protection in the cold weather. So I remember Dad putting the team in there and taking the horse blankets that we've been covered up in the sled. He put them over the horses and till we went home. Then he took the blankets off of them, covered us up in the sled, and away we went back home. But so I've seen a lot of changes, and there was no heaters or anything like that in those days. So I've seen a lot of changes, and I went to Sunday school there. It was confirmed in the Lutheran church, and went to church till, well, all my life. I can't remember when I didn't, but anyway. In